a video on some slightly failed cakes. So, not a complete failure, because I still ate them. Well, part of them. But a failure as in they didn't turn out exactly how I wanted. But there's no such thing as failures, because they're all learning opportunities, aren't they, if we're going to be positive about things. So, these are the two cakes that I wasn't 100% happy with. I wasn't 100% happy with the results. So this is the cake where I used some dehydrated orange. Brought some in the cupboard. Have I? Yes, I have. Yeah. So I dehydrated orange. Did I say orange or onion? I said orange. I'm sure I did. So I dehydrated orange, and I made onion crisps, orange crisps, and then put them in the cake as a dried fruit substitute. It's all right. It's just a bit dry. But I've kind of deduced that as part of the. Oh, I need to close the door because the washer's going. And it's a nice day, so I never thought I'd think I'd kind of say this, but in my head it's like, oh, it's going to be a nice day. I'll clean the bed linen. Never thought I'd say that, but that's something you get used to it later in life, isn't it? You kind of go, ooh, it's a nice day. I'll do the bed linen, and then I'll be able to get into a nice clean bed tonight. That'll be nice, won't it? Yeah, so that's something you discover in your 40s. Or maybe I was doing it in my 30s, can't remember. So, sidetracked as always and waffling. Yeah, it's all right, it's a little bit dry. I think the dehydrated oranges as part of a rich fruit cake, very nice. All of them just in a cake, a little bit dry. And then this is the blueberry fruit cake, which I got some blueberries that were cheap. I made cordial, and I made blueberry vodka, or gin, whatever you like, and then I turned the leftover blueberries into cake. It's a little bit stodgy, so it's more like a steamed Christmas cake type of pudding rather than a cake. So I still ate the other one, it was very nice, and I still ate half of that. It was alright, but I just kind of thought, can we fix these and actually use these cakes as the basis of the fruit for another cake? So there's too much fruit in that cake, so can I chop that up and add it to a cake's worth of mixture? So I'm not making much sense, am I? So that's half a cake. Could I add, use that, chop that up and use that as the dried fruit element in a new cake? That's what I'm meaning, yes. So, and then with this one's a little bit wet and this one's a little bit dry, can I mix those two together and do the same thing there? So that will turn into one cake by adding some more fresh cake mixture and rebaking the cake in the oven, type of thing. And we'll do the same with those. So we'll mix those, and then the wetness of that might compensate for the dryness of that, and we'll see if it kind of works. There was just too much fruit. So this experiment will, because I'm doing it in two different types of things, this will calculate if I'm to get more blueberries and make more blueberry vodka and cordial and take the leftover fruit. This will calculate if I should have actually used for the weight of the fruit, not the actual. It's supposed to be £1.5 pounds worth of fruit for 3 eggs. So one egg is one egg's worth of cake mixture. You need £1/2 pound of dried fruit. So this will see if I'm actually if I'm to do those blueberries again, I use half the weight of the blueberries. So instead of for a 1 egg, I will use a quarter. Yes, a £1/4 pound worth of fruit per egg. And then we'll just, out of just interest, will the wetness of that compensate for the dryness of that as a fruit cake? So I would just eat it, but I'm quite curious, and if I'm curious, we should have a play around, shouldn't we? So get those out of the way, because I can quickly chop up this one, but you'll see what I'm doing. So we will cube it like so, like this, and then I've already made some cake mixture, And I'm rushing because I want to get the washing out before I go and meet my mum for a coffee. So I'm also cleaning the house today, so I need to crack on, but I wanted to get these cakes in before I go out. They're going to take about 3 hours. So we'll cube it up like this, and then by the time 3 hours is up, I'll be home from having a coffee with my mum. And then the cakes are ready, and I've got more cakes to make later on, but that's for something else. Not a video I'll be making, just actual work. So, get the idea. So that's going to be the fruit element of the cake, and then I have more. Oh, should have put that in a little bit. We'll see how it works. I'm just curious. I think it'll work. I think it will work. Yes. So I was thinking about a something in Yorkshire called Fat Rascal. Famous at Betty's Tea Rooms, if you look that up online. Really famous old tea rooms in Yorkshire, and they're famous for a Fat Rascal, which is a Fat Rascal used to be a baker would take the things from the previous day that were left over, that were a little bit dry, didn't really have much use for them, couldn't sell them, couldn't even sell them at a discount, or wouldn't want to sell them at a discount because wouldn't want to sully their reputation for fresh baked goods. So they would take all the things that were a little bit stale, a little bit old, a little bit past the best, and then combine them with fresh ingredients to make a new cake, which was called a Fat Rascal. Betty's don't do that, and the Fat Rascal of today is more like of a scone made fresh with fresh ingredients. But like a Fat Rascal originally used to be something that was made from other things that was then combined to make something fresh again. So this is going to be the fruit element. So that goes into there. We'll turn it all, get a spoon, and we'll mix it all together. And then we'll do exactly the same with the other two, but we'll mix those together. So we'll mix the dry cake and the drier cake and the wetter cake to see what kind of happens. So I need a spoon, and I'm licking my fingers, which I shouldn't do. But this might just work. But you get the idea, don't you? You get the idea that we will take something that's a little bit overly fruited. 2-second rule. Overly fruited, and combine it to make a new cake. That looks about right, does that? That looks about right. I think that will work. I think that will work. So it's just a little bit too dense. But that looks about right, doesn't it? That looks about right. I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work. So, that out of the way for a second. No. So triple line cake tins, and then just that there. That in there. I mean, the one that I'm going to make with the wet cake and the dry cake, that might just take a little bit longer in the maturing process for all the kind of like for everything to kind of combine. So like the wetness from the wet cake to penetrate the dryness of the dry cake. You know what I mean? So kind of like dry it out that way. So it might take a little bit longer to mature. Probably could have got away with putting some more fruit in that. So we just need that. But you get the idea. You get the idea. Hopefully you do. And I'm not just making no sense whatsoever. But I think loads of things can just be fixed in life, can't they? You know, just because something fails. Like if you cake, so if you make a cake and it, I suppose that's in my grandma was famous for all her cakes always sinking in the middle, which was fine. My dad said it was fine because what she used to do was she used to put up more buttercream or cream in the centre to kind of hide that mistake, which is fine. But if something like if a cake or a biscuits fail, surely you can take them and use them in a cake type of thing. So maybe we'll do like a version of a Fat Rascal type of thing. So but you get the idea. So that's going to go in the oven. Well, once I've combined the other two cakes together and mix it all with the fresh cake mixture, they're all going to go in the oven Now we'll put a bit of baking parchment over the top so the top doesn't dry out too much and scorch. So it's just that much over there, and just kind of tuck it underneath like that, and then that'll just protect the cake on the top. About 3 hours, 140, 150 degrees, not centigrade. Oh, I don't know, I can't remember. No, centigrade, not Fahrenheit. So 140, 150 centigrade, not Fahrenheit. It is that, isn't it? It doesn't say on my cooker, but anyway. No. But there we go. So about 3 hours, something like that, and we'll see how they turn out. Right, they've had about 3 hours. Let's have a look. So this is the one that was just the wet cake. I think that, it looks ready. Let's just stick a skewer in. That felt kind of quite soft. It's come out clean, and the skewer's hot underneath my lip. So you put it underneath the, I'm not going to show my face on camera, but you just put a hot skewer underneath the bottom of your lip, and if it's hot, you know something's cooked. So that's that one. And that's that one. So these are the ones that were a mixture of the two cakes, and that one's just the wet cake. So we'll see, we'll cool them, and then we'll kind of see how they are once the paper stops falling over, and then I'll put the other cakes in. So we just need to chop it up. So we'll let those cool, and then we'll see. We'll cut into them a bit later on. They've cooled. Let's have a look. So this one and that one over there are the mixture of the two cakes, and this one is just the slightly overly wet cake. Look alright from the outside. So I think that would be better off being matured, so the everything has time to kind of like get to the same amount of moisture content in the centre. How's this one look? Ah, that's better, isn't it? Look at that. That's vastly improved. So you wouldn't actually be able to tell that I'd used another cake to make that cake. That's interesting, is that? Look at that. That's much better. How does it taste? Right kind of ratio as well. So if I do those blueberries again, I'll know that I use, if I'm to use them in a fruit cake, I use half the amount that I normally would of normal fruit. That's good. That's good. That's nice, isn't that? Somehow tastes fruitier. And tastes the alcohol as well. I'm talking with a mouthful again. So I think I'm going to eat that one. I'll leave. Well, that'll be the next cake that I eat. I've still got another cake that I'm eating. How's this one turn out? See, same again with this one. See, that's better, isn't it? It's not as dry, and it's not as wet. So this one's worked as well. That's vastly improved. That's much better. That's delicious. So I'll finish stuffing my mouth. Smaller bits maybe in the future. So that works. We fixed 2 broken cakes by chopping them up and adding them to a new cake mixture, which is interesting. I kind of knew, I did have a good idea that it was going to work, but interesting all the same. So a little bit of a story. So when I was younger, I worked at a hotel. We used to do lots of weddings, and what used to happen was like someone in the family would end up making the wedding cake. Like great aunt Gladys. I had Aunt Gladys actually. Great Aunt Gladys. And the bride wanted her to make the cake because she made the best wedding cakes and Christmas cakes ever. I mean, inevitably what happened was Great Aunt Gladys could make good Christmas cakes of that size, but she couldn't make them on a bigger size. So they take a lot longer to cook. Do like a wedding cake might be like that and bigger. So to cook a cake that size, we're talking maybe 5 hours in the oven. So kind of quite a difficult thing to do. So inevitably what would happen was that these cakes were raw in the centre. They'd iced them on the outside. I don't know if they knew or not, but the centre of the cakes was normally like raw. So if you ever screw your cake up making a rich fruit cake, Christmas cake, wedding cake, and it's not cooked in the centre, or it's overcooked, or you put too much fruit in, or you don't put enough fruit in, or any kind of problems that you come across, or it's dry, or anything like that, you can take it, you can cut it up, and then you can add it back to some fresh cake mixture and save the cake and the ingredients, which is kind of important at the moment because everything seems to be going up in cost. So fruitcakes aren't particularly a cheap thing to make, and if you mess them up, then it's the thought of having to make more and pay for all the dried fruit and the sugar and the eggs and all those type of things. But the price of everything's gone up is kind of a little bit soul destroying. So things can be saved though. So if you ruin your cake, you can use it in another cake mixture to make another cake, and no one would ever know. Would you ever be able to tell that that was actually made up of another cake? No, not at all. Not at all. You might have a sneaking suspicion that it's just not as good as Great Aunt Gladys's normal cake, but you'd never be able to tell. So there we go. We've saved cakes through a little bit of ingenuity, and we haven't wasted any money. Well, we've wasted less money as if we were to make the cakes again. So all we've really done is cut down. We've had to buy more eggs and we've had to buy more sugar, but we've saved the cost of the fruit and the price of throwing something away and having to buy it all again. So there we go. A success. I'm going to enjoy eating that no end.